The guts and THC and the endocannabinoids. This is a great question. I'm surprised I haven't covered it more before. So let's do a broad overview of how we have a huge number of cannabinoid receptors in our guts and something about what we know about what they do there and what diseases they can help with. I'm Lex Pelger. I do can education for CV Sciences, the makers of Plus CBD. There's excellent CBD, THC, and CBDA products for your guts. That last one is especially strong. First, let's look at the endocannabinoid system in the guts because this is one of the places it's most highly expressed across the entire body. And if you look in the epithelium, which is the lining of the GI tract, you have CB1 receptors, and then you have the MAGL and Fa enzymes, which break down 2-AG and anandamide respectively. You also have NATPLD and DLGL, which produce endocannabinoids. And then in the enteric nervous system, which is a nervous system that forms that gut-brain axis that we're always hearing about, you have CB1 and CB2 receptors. You have those same enzymes that both break down and create endocannabinoids. And finally, in the smooth muscle, it helps move things along, as well as the blood vessels servicing the GI tract. You have CB1 and CB2 receptors, as well as enzymes that create the endocannabinoids. And those levels change with inflammation, which is why endocannabinoids are often a target for treating inflammation in the guts. Also, the endocannabinoid system is heavily involved in feeding, and that loop between the brain and the guts and the microbiome that control our digestion. And so the endocannabinoids are involved in food intake, including how delicious food tastes to us, involved with the HPA axis, the hormones that regulate this, the sympathetic nervous activity, the expenditure of energy go down because of those. It helps build up your lipid levels and lower your glucose utilization, as well as lowering your insulin sensitivity and your beta cell functions, which is all good for diabetes, as you saw in a recent video. And you see that some of the things that get targeted include obesity, prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, steatosis, which is fatty liver, atherosclerosis, which is hardened arteries, and cardiovascular and renal disorders. Finally, you asked about a relaxed lower esophagus, and yes, CB1 receptor activation can cause that, and as well as your gastric acid secretion and gastric emptying. So generally, things start to slow down if you get high and activate those CB1 receptors. It's one of the theories around cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome is that it's slowing things down in your guts, but nobody's exactly sure if that's what's causing it. Also, as you can see, both CB2 and CB1 receptors are good targets for visceral pain, which is pain inside the body, as well as inflammation. Lastly, check out this page I maintain on CVResearch.info for more science, and also my archives and other pages on the site are filled with related things like diabetes, appetite disorders, metabolic disorders, nausea and chemo, Crohn's, colitis, IBD, the microbiome, dentistry. So if you have follow-up questions, just let me know.